All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Happy Saturday. Happy National Vision Board Day. I am Coach Sheréa VéJauan, and so welcome to our first virtual vision board party. You know, I've been doing vision board workshops since about 2009, beginning with my family. And I've done them in person, I've done them at events, and this is my first time doing a virtual. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the slides. Again, today is January 11th. It's National Vision Board Day. National Vision Board Day is the second Saturday of the month. So I thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and have a workshop. So what to expect today? So as you begin, so it's the beginning of the year, everybody's either having a vision board party, creating a vision board. My question, what I really want you to do is make sure you create a board that you can actually use, that you will actually display, and that you will not hide under your bed by February. We want to put them up. So what you want to expect today is I'm going to show you my 3-step method on how I create vision boards. And of course, you can adopt them as your own. You adopt and how you create vision boards for yourself. I'm just going to show you my way. So I'm going to go through the process of how to create the vision board, steps 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to make our boards today. And so if you are here today, hopefully you got your supplies and your materials. I'm going to put up the QR code for the supplies. So if you need to get, and it's your vision board, it should be your board, your markers, your scissors, your glue. If you're watching the replay, then you might want to go ahead and stop the video and make sure you have your supplies. At the end of the workshop, we're going to create our vision board together. You should have some of these things around the home already, maybe not a poster board, but if you do, then go ahead and download your vision board supply list. And I am your host, Coach Sheréa VéJauan, and I'm your host for today's workshop. I'm a firm believer in the power of visualization, goal setting. I'm the founder of the Goal Setters Club with my husband, Brian, and I am the author of the Ultimate Goals Handbook. We just released a fresh version. Was it December? I think December, maybe Thanksgiving weekend. I got to remember. I released so many books. I'm a John C. Maxwell certified coach. I've been a John C. Maxwell coach for a few years now. So it's safe to say you're in the right place. So we are going to get started. I just realized today that I can't see the Instagram messages. So if you're messaging me like on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, if you're messaging me on YouTube and Facebook, I can get your messages, but I don't get your messages on Instagram Live. All right, so our agenda, again, we're going to go over 3 steps. Then we're going to actually make our vision board. And those of you who are brave enough, if you want to share your vision board, I will share the link with you where you can come on with me live. You can share your board and explain it. All right, so I see a comment on Instagram. I've always wanted to go to one of your vision board workshops. I think, so we had one planned last year in Corona. I may do one in June, not sure yet. Yeah, if you want to switch over to YouTube, I can read your comments directly there. Otherwise, I just got to look into Instagram. But hopefully you guys have your supplies ready after I go through the slides. Then we're going to actually make our boards, okay? Okay, so get your coffee, your tea, get cozy. I'm cozy. I'm a little nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous. I've been doing this for a minute. Got the little butterflies, but I have my tea. I have not had coffee today. So those of you who know me, I love coffee. I probably would have had about 4 or 5 cups at this point. So we are I don't know what day. We started on the 6th. We are doing our plant-based challenge right now. And so no meat, no sweets, no dairy. So you got to pray for me today. I've been up early this morning. I get up around 3 in the morning every morning. And so I start with my coffee. And so anyway, grab your coffee, grab your tea, settle in a cozy spot. And I got my ginger, turmeric, agave nectar, lemon tea. Let's see. All right, and if you're watching, so you also want to have your notebook, your pen, your paper. If you have your kids or teenagers with you, this is a family event. If you want to watch the replay as we get to the end, hey Jasmine, welcome. So this is something you can do with your entire family. I'm gonna put up a little. So hopefully you guys scanned your supply list. And I'm gonna try to slow down because I go fast. I'm gonna try to slow down. The vision that you glorify in your mind, the ideal that you enthrone in your heart, this you will build your life by, and this you will become. So I wanted to start with that quote by James Lane Allen, and just keeping our visions, keeping our goals. And it was crazy because even as I was researching and kind of putting this vision board course together, I started seeing vision boards, my first vision board from 2009. I started seeing my daughter's vision boards when they were 10. And then you start seeing them elevate. And I saw my vision board from last year. And so, we've been doing this for a minute, but keeping your vision in front of you, keeping your goals in front of you, keeping, if you're trying to travel, keep those travel goals in front of you. Because this is what you'll become. If you keep looking at it, it keeps reminding you. So keep that quote at the top of mind. So what is a vision board? A vision board is a collection of images, quotes, symbols that resonate with your dreams, your aspirations. It serves as a visual representation of your goals, something that helps you stay inspired, keeps you focused, and keeps you motivated to achieve your visions and your dreams. And so when you're feeling away, you get up, you might be, a little sad. Maybe some things happened the previous day that you weren't happy with, and you hit the corner and you see your vision board posted up, and you take a glance, and it keeps you being like, my word of the year is believe. So I try to keep my word in front of me. I have my word here. I have my word in back of me. And so when things get tight or things get tough, I go back to my word. Okay, Sheréa, believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, believe in your goals, believe that God's going to come through for you. And so keeping your word in front of you throughout the year, keeping your vision in front of you throughout the year will help you be successful as you reach towards your goals in 2025. Okay. Why vision boards work. So similar to what we just talked about, vision boards work because it's a daily visual reminder of what you set up for yourself, and it clarifies your vision. And so combining your daily reminder and your vision in front of you, that's why it works. And this is more than just a creative project, at least for me. And that's why we set them up in the way that we set them up. It's not cutting out pictures in a magazine. It's having a visual reminder of the goals that you set for yourself. Advantages of creating a vision board. Creating a vision board has a lot of benefits that go beyond just goal setting. I'm going to give you a couple. Clarity of goals, daily motivation, like we talked about. It encourages visualization. It improves your focus, keeps you focused on the year. It boosts your creativity, and it helps you track your progress. If you're looking at your vision board and you see a graduation cap on there, you're like, okay, wait a minute, let me go back and study. Or if you pass by your vision board and you see the home that you're trying to buy in the next couple years, okay, let me go back and make this other call. And so it keeps that in front of you where you keep your drive going. The disadvantages of creating a vision board is the opposite of that, feeling stuck. Maybe it's a lack of clarity. You can't do what you can't see. So if you're able to see it, your brain starts working towards giving you ideas on how to get it done. It lowers your accountability. There's a debate of whether you should share your goals, not share your goals with people. I believe you should share your goals because it gives you accountability and it gives you a little bit of help. Sometimes you'll put something on your vision board and someone else will see it and, oh, hey, wait, you want to do what? I can help you with that. I know somebody. And so keeping your vision board, not just in front of you, but when you keep it visible, maybe in your office, maybe in your, in your home, maybe wherever you can keep it visual, on a little small one on your desk, and somebody walks by, oh, you want to go to Belize? I have a house in Belize. When do you want to go? And so I'm a firm believer in telling people, but okay, there's two things. You can tell people, and then you have, there was somebody in the Bible that told somebody their dreams, and that turned out to be a hot mess. But then eventually, it led to him achieving his goals. And then you have your goals where you're telling certain people that's gonna lift you up and keep you accountable, right? Just like I told you guys, I'm on a plant-based diet right now. Hey, I'm on a plant-based diet. I don't have to tell you that, but now I tell you, and you see me in the streets. And you're like, is that Sheréa in and out? Is she getting a burger right now? Because she just told me that she was on a plant-based diet. And if you know me personally, now you're going to text me. Did I just see you chopping down a burger? And so if you know that you're telling your goal, but if I haven't told anybody and I go to in and out, I'm not accountable. So this way I'm accountable to myself. And then people putting it out there, people know to keep me in check. And so I'm a firm believer in say what your goals are, right? So those are the disadvantages of not creating a vision board. So I'm going to go into my 3-step method, and there are different ways. A lot of people, you just grab the magazines and you cut and you start posting on the board and hang it up or not hang it up. What I do and what I've always had my family do before we even start our vision boards, we write out our goals. So you're going to write your top goals. And so my method is writing out your number one goal for the year. So those of you who have, we have a Dream Big Vision Board Planner. This is, and it's not a shameless plug, it's a plug. So it's available. In the Dream Big Vision Board Planner, I'm going to put the link up here real quick. It has a space for you to, if I could only achieve one goal this year, if I could only achieve one major goal this year, what would it be? My next top 3 goals for the year are the goals I want to achieve in 5 years, the goals I want to achieve in 10 years. And then I call them my number ones. So your number ones are, what's your number one physical health and fitness goals? So my number one health and fitness goal is to be at 165 by the end of the month. Okay. So if that's not my only goal, but it's my main number one goal. So on my vision board, I'm going to make sure I put something that's related to that 165, but then I have other goals, which is to maybe do intermittent fasting, maybe do a keto diet, to do a plant-based. So there's some other, to get toned up, to exercise 30 minutes a day. So even though you're writing out your physical health and fitness goals, what is your number one? So that's where I start, my number ones in each area. So and then the balance. So now we're balancing out in 12 areas. So next, balance out your goals across key areas of your life. And this is where people say I'm doing too much. So a lot of times when people would get the journals like, oh, it's too much. You want me to do my travel and my giving and my home? Life is a lot. And so as we start balancing, you'll find when you focus on one thing, then sometimes the rest of your life is falling apart. Or you're focusing on money, and now you haven't focused on your health, and you can't spend the money that you spent all your life making because you didn't take care of your health. And so balancing out your goals. Yes, you have a number one goal that you're working on for 2025, but if you don't balance that out with your health and your finances and your relationships, you'll end up losing in those other areas. And then last, create. So write your top goals, 2, balance them out, and then 3, create. All right. Let me go to the next slide. And let me check and see if there's any comments. No comments. I'm going. All right. So step 1, write. If I could only achieve one major goal this year, it would be one goal. You don't do nothing else. There's no balance. There's nothing. What is your number one goal if you don't do anything else? So that's how I design mine. And I try to put that in the middle of my vision board or somewhere big, or making sure when I see that board, I see that number one thing and I'm focusing on that. And then I do my next top 3 goals. What's my top 3 goals for the year? And then what goals do I want to achieve in 5 years? And the reason why you want the goal you want to achieve in 5 years, because even though it's 5 years away, it may be something you need to work on right now in this year. And so if you're going to school and you're getting your degree and it's going to take you 4 years, well, you have to start working on that this year. So you want to put that 5 year. If you're trying to retire in 5 years, then you want that. And then a little bonus, I put my word of the year. So somewhere on my vision board, I put my word or I put my song of the year. I have a new song this year. It's called Enter Me. And I feel like I should have wrote that song myself. But you can put your song of the year. You can put your word of the year. You may have a number of the year. Some people have numbers. You put your number of the year. So I start with those. And so when I have my vision board, I want to make sure I put those top things on my vision board first, right? Then I go into the balance. And so as we're balancing, we have 12 categories: physical health and fitness, relationship goals, finance goals, home goals, self-care, fun, personal development, career, family, spiritual, travel, giving, and a bonus, legacy. So I start with those number ones first. The number one family goal, my number one spiritual goal, my number one travel goal, my number one giving, and then a legacy goal. And we'll talk about that. Well, I don't know if I had planned talking about that today, but I have in the goals handbook, there's a section that you write a legacy goal. So say, for instance, my goal is to lose 15 pounds. And one of the ways I'm going to lose 15 pounds is I'm going to walk every day. And I'm going to walk every Wednesday and Friday. A legacy goal could be, okay, not only am I going to walk, I'm going to gather my whole neighbors. I'm going to gather my neighborhood, and we're going to walk together. And now I'm going to create an event called Walk Together in my community. And when you're long and gone, your community is still walking because you had a personal goal for yourself, and then you made that a legacy goal or community goal. And so I recommend, or I suggest, or I ask, after you've written out your personal goals for yourself, go back to those goals and see how can you include or incorporate other people, and use that like as a mentorship moment, or use that as a legacy moment, or use it as a tradition moment that you can leave as a tradition to your family. All right. So that is the balance piece. And create. And so now you're creating, because now you have the important things on your board. And if you passing by the magazine and you see something you want to put on there, a salad, or you see, a ring or some jewelry or something else that you want to include on your vision board, that's fine. But now you have those main important things on there. And it's so good to go back and we save all of our vision boards. And we did a vision board party. I call them workshops though, because we be working. We have a vision board workshop. And one year my daughter found all of our vision boards and she put them all over the house. I'm going to try to get a photo. She put them all over the house. And it was so good to go back and see your board from 2011 and 2013 and 2020 and then up to this point, and to see some things that you put on your board 10 years ago are just now coming into fruition. Like, sometimes it takes a little bit longer than we think it takes. All right. So, see, types of vision board. So there's a couple of types of vision boards. Let me get my notes here. You can do a single board. You can do a digital board. You can do a physical board, which I'm going to show you how to do today. Now with so many digital resources and apps and Canva and photos on Google, you can do that yourself. We used to have a cork board in one of our homes, and we would put the pictures up with the tag so that way we can remove them instead of having them glued down. And then when something came, say like we had a goal and then that goal happened, we replaced that magazine photo with an actual photo. And that's really good. That became like a staple in our home where people will walk by and look at it. So that's an idea, especially if you have a family and you guys are all sharing your family goals. You can put your goals on a cork board and then everybody has access to them. Pinterest, you can make your vision board in Pinterest. You can put everything in Pinterest and then print it out. You can print it and put it in a 3-ring binder, or you can cut them out. And again, the traditional board, which we're going to do today. And then you want to, am I skipping? So once you decide what type of vision board you want to get, now you want to gather your tools and your resources. And so your construction paper, your poster board, your pens, your markers, your crayons, or whatever, your glue, tape, scissors. I have a list that I have for you. I have that up. Let me put that up again. If you need a vision board supply list, it is right there. Embellishments, maps, ticket stubs. There's so many creative things that people are doing now with their vision boards. You can have a circle vision board. You can have a square vision board. You can, have a truck shape. So you can, especially for kids, if you're doing vision boards for kids, you can have them in different shapes and have them put their pictures around the shape. So there's so many things that you can do. So you want to gather your tools, your cork board, or however you're going to do it. Key elements, of course, images, of course, photos, motivational messages, quotes, your favorite quotes, like I said, ticket stubs, buttons. Like you can make it come alive. You can 3D it. Let's see, stickers, things like that. So I have stickers. Let's see. Key reminders. There is now this is my way, my 3-step, right? Write out your top goal. If you can only achieve one goal for the year, your word of the year, what you're going to be achieving in 5 years, your main top goals you want to focus on, balance, and then create. That is my way. As you start creating your vision boards, you start creating what works for you, then you have your way of how you want to create them. All right. So that is my way. Write, balance, create. Dream big. Dream big. So maybe I had a picture that said my plans and then God's plans, because his are always bigger than what we have planned for ourselves. Spend time with your vision board. Don't just create your vision board. I know, again, we're going to the vision board parties. We have fun. We have our drinks and we hang out with the girls, and that's fine. It is a good time for community, but make sure you're creating a vision board that you can work with, that you can post up, that you can use, that it actually encourages you to be disciplined and create that change that you want to see. And place your vision board where you want to see it. All of our vision boards are visual. They're throughout our house. My husband wants to change his and put his in his office, and that's fine. But usually if you walk into our house, you will see everybody's vision board, their vision board, and then we change them out as the year happens. So when we have our vision board party next week, we'll exchange. Well, now both my daughters are married, so they have their own boards at their own house. So that's a situation. So I got to get my granddaughters over here and put their vision boards on grandma's wall. Did I say daughters? Sorry about that. So yeah, it's yours. There's no right way. Dream big, spend time with it, place it where you can see it in your office, and you can take a photo of your vision board. So if your vision board is inside your house or in your office, take a picture of it with your phone and keep that on your phone screensaver so you can look at it. Okay. All right. So going to the next slide here. So it is workshop time. I'm going to quickly, now I'm not going to put it all together because again, I'm doing my vision board next week with my family, but I'm going to show you the steps that we talked about today, which is write, balance, and create, of how I do my vision board. So I'm going to switch my camera. So those of you who are either watching the replay or if you're doing your vision board with me, go ahead and get all of your supplies ready. Now, this is my first time doing this. All right, so we're going to go through the 3 steps that I talked to you about. I am going to put up, so this is my Dream Big Planner. It's available on my website. It's a PDF version. If you want to print that out, it's color. Or it's available on Amazon too. On Amazon, I believe it's $24.99 or something like that. But it's an actual, it looks like this on Amazon. So this is what I'm going to be using today. So we talked about your top number one goal. Hopefully you guys can. So I'm not going to be able to read the comments. I'll put this up. So my number one goal for 2025, if I don't reach no other goal, is to have $1 million day followed by $1 million year. And that is my number one goal for the whole year. I'm focused on it. So anytime I do an event, anytime I release a product, anytime I do anything, I'm asking myself, can I make $1 million from that? I'm trying to find my list here. Sorry guys. And then my top 3 goals. Bear with me, guys. Thank you. That's what happens when you have, okay, right here in my face. So my number one goal, if I don't reach any other goal, is to have $1 million day. And that's my focus for the whole year. My other top goals is to retire. I got to be careful because somebody from my job might be on here, is to retire soon. And so that $1 million day is going to help me with that. And then my other main goal is to purchase our home cash by the end of the year. And then to travel in my Goalsmobile. So I'm buying a Goalsmobile. It's already trademarked. And that's my goal, is to travel around the city, travel around the country, to travel around in my Goalsmobile and help people reach their goals. So those are my top 3 goals. So I have $1 million photo. I have a dummy copy of my Goalsmobile there. So I want to make sure, because those are my top goals, that those are top on my vision board. So different ways, like you have regular magazines, and when we have our family vision board workshop, we have magazines all over. And my daughter had like a magazine shop, and she had them in a bag, and then you go by and they're categorized. But then I also have where I get pictures that are more realistic to what I want to do, specific, either on Canva or Google. And then I use the handy dandy Dream Big Vision Board Planner. So this planner is divided in 12 categories, like the journal. So I have my $1 million day. I have retire from employment. So there's my retirement picture right there. After I do my major goals that I want, then I put additional goals. So that's that one, retire, and then to drive around in my Goalsmobile, which is right here, my Goalsmobile. So I'm going to print that. So if I don't achieve nothing this year, not near goal, that's my $1 million. So I'm going to put that over here. 5 years, which is really 1 year, but don't tell nobody. 5 years, retire. And when I retire, this is what I'll be doing. Okay. All right. And my top goal is to weigh 165 pounds. And your girl got into some new jeans this morning, so I'm already happy about that. One of my spiritual goals is to graduate from ministry school, which my husband and my daughter and I are in. So there's my ministry school. One of my fun goals, that's a goal in itself. I struggle with fun and I struggle with traveling. One of my fun goals is to do a monthly fun event every month. Is my husband listening? Yeah, once a month, starting in June. I'm not gonna have fun right now. Fun later. So starting in June, so I put some skates on here. Hey, Coach, Mr. High Life Films, how you doing? Thanks for joining me. You got your vision board? I know you got your vision board. Unless if you do a vision board every year? All right, so I have that, and then my top goals for 2025: achieve a weight of 165 by July 2025. Try to do that by the end of this month, though. My relationship goal is to cultivate self-love. So that has been my goal for the last 2 years, is to continue to have a better relationship with myself, because I feel like all other relationships are going to steam off of that. So how I treat myself and how I demand to be treated. I have a whole bunch of boundaries this year. And I'm also stepping out of a comfort zone of introversion. So as I'm stepping out and communicating with more people and dealing with more people, I have to be clear on how I like to be communicated to. Let me not even get into that. So that's my number one goal, is cultivate self-love through daily affirmations, self-care practices. My home goal: declutter and organize my garage by March 31st. Self-care: to take detox bath every Saturday. And fun: to plan or attend one fun event per month. For those of you who know me, that's hard. That's going to be hard to have fun, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to document it. Career goal: personal development, to read 104 books by December 31st. Number one career goal: to become the number one accountability coach in the world by developing a global coaching program by December 2025. That's a big goal. Family goal: to host Sunday family dinners every week, started in February. So every Sunday to have a family dinner and invite family. Spiritual goal: told you that, graduate from ministry school. Travel to get my passport. I need my passport. It's been a long time. I need to get it. I need to go see people. I need to go see my son in Portugal. I need to go stop by Auntie Shakey's out there in Dubai. My giving goal: to give something every day. So my goal is to give something every single day. I did that 1 year, and it was phenomenal. At first it was hard, and then it got so easy. I was giving multiple times a day. And so if you don't have a giving goal, that's a suggestion for you. If you started, say, how can I give today? And it could be $1, it could be $2, it could be $5, $1. So say like you go into the grocery store and they have the little button or something to say, hey, do you want to give $2 to kids? That counts. Or when I didn't have something to give somewhere, then I would just give to my church. We have a push pay app. I'll be like, okay, I'm just going to give $5 to the church, or I'm going to give $3 to the church every day. And then legacy goal. I'm way behind on this. Don't judge me. But we definitely need to set up our trust this year and get some things done. Oh, you be reading. You be reading 100. You be reading. That's like 2 books a month. 52 weeks. Is that 52? Oh, is that 2 books a week? Oh, yeah, that's 2 books a week, huh? So I include audio. Now, people don't include audio. I physically read. Say like the book we have a book in one of our book clubs called The Hard Thing About Hard Things. I have the Audible and I have the hard. So I go back and forth. I think they have a Kindle, and if they do, I'll get the Kindle. But I usually get all 3 versions, and I read and I listen. So yeah, 104, that's on my list. I was thinking it should have been 24. It should have been 2 a month. Okay, you're right. I don't think I calculated. Okay, so I have my top goals. So this is a part of my reading goal, and retiring at the same time. And then I told you guys about the Sunday dinners. So we got Sunday dinner photo. Now, if you know what your goals are, again, and maybe you don't have the magazines. Did you know if you have a library in your city that magazines are like 50 cents or 25 cents if you have your library card? It's a great place to help the library and also to get magazines. I don't know. I think the last time I went was last year or after COVID. So this is a picture of a garage. You can't see that. This is a picture of, I forgot her name, but she's 72 years old right here. 72, and she looks good. So this is this is on my health and fitness goals for toned up. It's my passport. This is me giving. This is my trust. This is a scripture. My gifts will make room for me. So this is a simple way. Maybe it's not that simple, but this is a simple way to, if you know what your goals are, you can Google them. A lot of us are using ChatGPT now. You can go to ChatGPT and say, hey, here's my goal for 2025. Can you create a photo for me? If you have not had a vision board workshop with your family or your friends, I would highly suggest that. My favorite part of that is the end, when everybody's sharing their boards and you get to be a part of their dream and vision. You get to hear what it is. And we had a vision board workshop at our house. I think we had about 20 people, and it was amazing. The best part was the end to me, was hearing the goals and hearing why people put stuff on their board. Sometimes you see a photo, but it doesn't tell the whole story. You know, you'll see a photo from someone, and then to hear the whole story, I love it. So if you haven't had a vision board workshop and you want to do a vision board workshop with your family and you end up doing it, please let me know. Okay, so I have most of my photos. This is a picture of a dog, but don't tell my husband. I talked about self-love, so I have an I love me. I don't think we can see those. I have another picture of a scale. I have a picture of me being the #1 coach in the world. When you start at 1 by writing out your goals and balancing out your goals and talking about what you want, I feel like it's easier to find photos. And then also, I'm going to make, like this vision board planner, it's for everybody, but I want to also make one especially for men, because I found that to be an issue when we did have our vision board workshops, is the magazines for men. Or sometimes the magazines that were for men, yes, they had guns or they had other stuff, but it wasn't all of the men and all of the goals that they had. And so having that would be my next vision board planner. So this is my detox. Can you guys see that? Yeah, my detox, which I took before this call too. I don't know why I did that, because if you take a good detox bath, you'll be sleepy. Okay, and this is me reading. This is our home. It's probably going to be about 3-4 million if it's out here in California. And then set goals, not limits. It's a quote. All right, let me know if you have any questions in the chat. Also, let me know if you are actually working on your vision board. I want to know if you're working on your vision board. Let me go back to the chat. All right, I probably won't use these photos, but here's another one of the $1 Million Year. Another tip that I do, and here's another reason why it's good to hear other people's goals, and especially if you're having a vision board workshop. If someone tells you what their goals are and you see a photo, you can we put them away, and then I usually have like a storage bag, and you can put those in a storage bag and save them. Or if you see a really, really good picture that you don't know whose goal it is, I'll put that in a storage bag and just keep it, because you never know if you would need it for another time or need it for somebody else. Okay, so those are my top goals. And then I have my word of the year. And again, this is a quick way. It's still the way, but at our house, we are here for a couple of days. Sometimes, for the first day, it's a few hours. And usually we just keep everything on the table and we do it throughout the weekend. We start either like a Saturday or like a Friday night and then finish it on Saturday, maybe Sunday. But it's usually a weekend or a long period of time that we complete our boards. So here are my photos. Now, I was thinking about just actually keeping this on here to believe, so I can put my word in the middle. Or not. I can put my, I'm not gonna do that. Got my $1 million, this. What I used to do also, when I first did my first vision board, what I would do was print out my goals in all 12 areas on a 8.5 by 11 paper, and I would put that in the middle so I could actually read my goals. And then I would put the photos around it. And that's another way. So I usually like to have something. So here's my goals mobile. Here's my retirement. Here's my 100 million. Put that in the middle. Maybe you have a scripture of the year that you want to put. You can also put them in sections. So maybe you are, maybe you want to put all your health and fitness on this side. Maybe you put all your relationships over here. You put everything over here. You put your word of the year at the top. Your word of the year could be at the top of your board or in the corner. Let's see. Put my word at the top. I have my retirement. I have my skates. I have my... Okay, so that's almost filled up. So this board, right now, it represents all of my goals, my main number ones. So I know that my number ones are on here. I know that my word of the year is here. So this could be a complete board. Now you can take this same board. Now I have my glue and stuff, but since my workshop is next week, I'm not going to use that because I'm going to use some of these. Now you can put your other goals here. You can put your embellishments here. You can draw. You can do your stickers. My daughters really love stickers. My other daughter, she really loves embellishments and putting extra things on there. So this could be your complete board. Now, if you're using the planner, so it's divided into different sections. So here's my health and fitness. If you can see that, I'm trying to put that here. So one page has photos, and then the other page it's blank, so you won't cut through. But it's the big picture on the back that you're cutting through is also related. So this is health and fitness, and then there's lemons. So say like my goal is to, I want to weigh a certain amount. So now I have the scale on there. So this is good for my scale. And then we're on a plant-based diet right now. There's a picture of a gym. There's juice, which we're doing. And then there's words. There's health words. So if you want to use that, you can use that as your photo. Oh, water. Let me just cut that one out. So this has a lot of, so you got water. Let me see the camera. You have water. You're taking your supplements every day. I don't need to put that on there because I need to take my supplements. Then there's intermittent fasting. There's a female at the gym. Can you see that? Let me see if you can see that. Yeah, so there's a female, then there's for the guys, there's workout stuff, and then relationships. So there's a whole relationships. You can cut this out, put that, have your relationships at the top. So yeah. So I'm gonna go through this. Can you see this? So they're full color. Okay, hey Deb, do you have your are you doing your vision board now, or are you just watching me? And then I have checks. So I will be cutting this one out from my so even though I cut a check out from the internet, I'm gonna cut this one out a little more clear. So I have my check. Oh Lord, I need to do my taxes. Okay, this is on my food. Okay. So I talked about doing so here's finances. Cut that one out. And then there's a space for credit, HSA, savings account, side hustle, stock market, taxes. Take that one out. Oh, retirement. I have items here, but I need more images. Okay. Yeah, and like I was saying too, have you been to my house for a vision board workshop, Debbie? Or have you been to any of our vision boards out in Rancho? Okay, so then I go into my home environment. I need to organize this garage. Good Lord. Okay, so I'm going to cut that one out. Organizing the garage. What are some ways to track my progress towards manifesting the goals on my board? Okay, good question. So just because, I'm sorry. What are some ways to track my progress towards manifesting the goals on my vision board? So hopefully, let's see. Those of you who have the goals handbook. So if you're following, and we have a reading plan too. So we are working on all of our goals, but we're focusing hard on one particular goal for the month. So say January, health and fitness. So we're working on our January health and fitness goals. So in order for us to reach our goals and to stay healthy and firm up, that type of thing, we implement 3 health things in the beginning of the year. Start with our water challenge the first 5 days. Then we continue with our plant-based, and then we end with a reboot. So when you see like books and you see things that are written by me, these are things that we've experienced as a family. These are things that we've taken notes on. When you get a 21-day meal plan, my daughter worked on that meal plan from stuff that we were doing and stuff that we were physically eating. And so we start the beginning of January with those health things. And then we start implementing your routines then, and you write down your routines. And so if you're tracking your progress, whatever your goal is, you want to break that down into those 7 steps. You want to write it. You want to balance it out. You want to have your vision for it. You want to create routines. You want to act. You want to visualize. And all that is inside your handbook. So your goals handbook should go hand in hand with your vision board. What is your first question? Let's see. Okay. Number one goal is huge for me. My number one goal is huge for me. Should the top three goals align with it? Otherwise, all my goals are pretty big and I don't know how to get them all done in 2025. I'm going to stay with the number one goal. Okay. So here's the thing. Okay, there's two things. My system, as far as the Ultimate Goals Handbook, it's a 1 year. It's a 1 year system. So as you're tracking, you're writing the goals that you want to complete in 1 year, because I created it so you can measure your progress. Because what happens is people set goals and then you don't track your goals and then you don't reach your goals and you forget about your goals. But if you say in 1 year, I'm going to lose this amount of weight. In 1 year, I'm going to get my passport. You got a whole year to get your passport. I'm talking about me, particularly in my goals. Okay. I want to give every day for 1 year. And so these are set in that space. But you also have a space where you're saying, okay, I need to achieve this in 5 years. So if one of your goals is, if you're mapping out the measurement and it's going to take you 5 years, then what do you need to work on consistently in year 1 to help you get to year 5? And then you got to be on task because time is ticking. I believe, and some of our goals are not 1 year. Some of the goals I put on my board, like my husband's like, babe, you're one person. I try to put together a whole 12-hour goal-a-thon by myself, me and my assistant, trying to create 20 courses and trying to do 20 slides and presentations and trying to make the QR codes. It's like, girl, you're one person with a full-time business and a full-time job and a whole husband. And so sometimes we set goals that we don't have the capacity for. So you want to see what your capacity is, and then based on your capacity, when am I actually going to reach this goal? Because my goal for you is to help you actually achieve your goals. And then we have to put a timeline. Like, okay, we have to say, okay, well, it's going to probably take you 13 months, not 12. Okay, now, are you clear that you want to do that in 13 months? Work backwards. What are you going to do now to get there? Okay, so no, your top 3 goals don't have to align with those big goals, but your routine should align with your number one goal, if that makes sense. The routines that you need for your number one goal should align with that number one goal. And then your next top 3 goals, those are the ones that you're putting on your board. Because remember, we want to stay balanced through the year. We don't want to be so focused on one goal that we miss everything else, right? And other things are in place too, like if you have a family, if you're traveling, if you're in the military, so things like that, you have to make space for when life happens. But we don't use life as an excuse to not reach our goals, if that makes sense. All right, these are some good questions. Okay. All right. Do you guys always document the process? When you say document the process, what do you actually mean? I'm going to say yes, because I do document the process. But when you say document, what part of the documentation do you mean? Do you mean when we reach our goals, or do you mean as we're reaching our goals? Expound on that a little bit. And Deb, did that answer your question? Yeah, so while I'm waiting for EEFY travel, yes, we document. We talk about, we document. So in your handbook, because if you have the handbook, a lot of you on here have the handbook, at the end of the month, so you're creating your routines, you should know whether you're doing your routines or not. There's a place for you to put your routines. And there's another place on the other side where you're documenting your goal reflections. What was my biggest accomplishment this month? This month's challenges. What was my biggest challenge? And how will you celebrate your success? So each month, and I just had someone tell me yesterday, who I didn't even didn't know had my book was like, the best thing about the book, he didn't think it was when he went back and saw his reflections. He went back and saw what he accomplished because he didn't realize that he had changed. He didn't realize that he was a new person until he went back and was like, oh, I was doing that. So yes, document the process. And what's good about vision boards, I keep all my vision board. Now there were 2 years where I repurposed my vision board, meaning there were some things on there that didn't get done and they were still goals of mine, because I always say don't move your goals from one year to the next without proper reflection. Are you still the same person? Do you still want that? And so once I evaluated that year, did my reflection and say, these are the things that I still want, these are the things that's still important, then I was able to repurpose and add and take away and keep using that board. But other than that, I keep all my vision boards. No, not necessarily. So this is hard for me, and I'm gonna be transparent here. It is hard for me to bring up, because I don't like it. Like if somebody's doing something and they keep, oh, in my book, or oh, in my stuff, or oh, buy my stuff. So I don't want to be that person, but it's true. Like the Ultimate Goals Handbook, in my opinion, is the Ultimate Goals Handbook. And it is designed in a way to help you set and achieve your goals in a 1-year process. And so, yes, I do want to answer your question, and you don't have to go to the handbook for the answer to your question. I just want to make sure that it's answered. And there's a lot of free resources too. Even those of you who attended the Goal-a-thon, in each section, you had an opportunity to download a free worksheet with most of the stuff that's in the journal. Not in depth, but most of the stuff and that is my goal also, because there was times when I wanted stuff and I didn't have the funds for it. So I want to make sure I have an opportunity that people who don't have the funds can still reach their goals. And those of you who do, there's an investment. So yes, in your handbook, there's a place for you to write out your goal, to put a photo of that goal, to visualize it, to have your routines, and to measure it out. We work hard. It's 14 years. This is not something, that's thrown together with ChatGPT. This is 14 years of writing the Ultimate Handbook that I use with my family, that my family uses. Okay, so let's see. Okay, any more questions? When do you do your meal plans, water challenge, and etc.? So we just did the water challenge January 1st through the 5th. And then now we're on a plant-based challenge. We started that on the 6th. I don't have a link to it right now. I know it's on my website. And we do that in most churches, if you're a part of a church, most churches have the Daniel fast. So we've been doing this for about 9 years or 10 years, starting the year like that. And then the reboot challenge, it's mostly plant-based during the morning, and then night you have a meal. You have like a chicken or like a brown rice and vegetable, but it's still like no sweets. So we usually no sweets, no meat until the last 5 days of the month. And I have let me see if I have that here. I don't think I do. I have a challenge. Let's see if I have that. I do not. But in our Goals magazine, which is we just launched, there is a photo in there of the challenges for this month. And I will see if I can post that up at the end of the I'm trying to find it. Since I know you personally, I'm going to give you get you the link to the challenges. All right. All right. Any more questions? So I still will be, so now like my board, even though it has what I want on it, it needs color. So that's when I'll go back and do my color, add some more photos. There's some self-care. There's massages. Putting massages back on the list. So yeah, so these are what I call my filler goals. But as far as self-care, so even though my number one self-care goal is to have my detox bath on Saturdays, also to add to my regular goals, because you have a space to put your additional goals, is to get those massages. So I usually do it once a year, which is not enough, and then I always do it for my husband on his birthday. And then your hobbies or some creative. It could be a part of your fun goal if you want to do like something creative. I need this one because I'm in a content creation course right now, and we're creating video. I'm probably gonna need 2 vision boards this year. I'll see how that's gonna happen. See, this is for content creation. And I'm gonna show you my vision board from last year. Hold on. So I hope that helped you guys. I don't want to glue it, but this is how we do our vision boards every year. We write them out, we balance them out, and then we create. But I'm going to show you my board from last year. Give me a second. Oh, butt in the camera. That might be hard to see. Hold on. Okay, so this is my vision board from last year. Can you see that? So at the top, I have my word of the year. This is not going good. I have my word of the year. I have my checks. I have it divided in sections. So finance, home, family, personal development, fitness. And then I have career, travel. Can you see that? Now here in the middle, right there at the bottom, that is actually a whole page. It's 8.5 by 11 by the car. So you can get an 8.5 by 11, put certain goals on it, like a travel goal or whatever your business goal is, and stick that on your actual board. And then I have my business at the bottom. I have relationships. Can you see that? Now on my wall, I didn't plan on showing you my wall. On my wall, let's see. Behind me, at the top, that is one of my career goal boards from a few years ago, which I'm still working on. So some of your boards, like Deb, when you talked about goals being like 3 or 5 years or ones you're not going to complete right away, you could do a whole separate board for that. And see, I think that one is like a 12 by 12 in the back. And then the other one underneath that is my word of the year board. So that board is just for my word of the year. So you can create other vision boards too. All right, so I'm going to take this one off. Hold on. Now I messed up my whole situation here. Okay. And this is my husband's board from 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Can you see that? All right. If there's take it off this camera. All right, you guys, I hope that this has helped you. Yes, we have, I should have put more pictures. That's what I wanted to do. I ran out of time. But I have so many pictures of, our vision board workshops from the day we started. The first one we did in 2009. We lived in our Cerritos home. And that's how the whole goals, it started off as a goals journal. That's how it got started. We did a vision board party. We sat down, asked my daughters what their goals were. I posted up pictures, and people were like, well, what curriculum are you using? So then I started writing curriculum. Then I did a workshop for kids in LA. So what else? You can also take a picture of you with your vision board and post that and keep that with you. So there's all different types of ways. This is my way. Did anybody want to come on and share? If you're working on your vision board right now, does anybody want to come on and share theirs? If not, we're going to end this live. If you have no more questions, all right, happy 2025. All right, you guys, if there's anyone who wants to share their vision board, if you did the workshop or if you had a question, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to thank you guys for joining me, and I'm going to see you next year. I plan to do this every year on the second Saturday of the month. All right. All right, you guys. Let me... All right, thank you. You got me on this books, man. I think I meant to say 52 books, not 104. I think I miscalculated. I'm gonna have to work this out. So yeah, thank you for joining me. Again, I plan to do this every year. My goal is to again, we do ours. I'm still gonna do mine this Saturday with my family, but then trying to do a virtual one and hopefully have people actually doing their vision boards and us doing it together, like a big old virtual workshop, and being able to see them and share them with each other, online, for those of you who are comfortable. I hope that you learned something. I hope that it's helped you today. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you guys, and I'm rooting for you. I'm excited for 2025. It's going to be awesome. Every year is going to be awesome. And I will see you next year. As far as this workshop, I'll see you next year. All right.